Hello there, and happy Friday, everybody. Today is Friday, July 10th, and believe it or not, I'm going to do a Christmas card today. I got my pre-order yesterday, and I was really excited to, of course, open the box and see what was inside, and I couldn't help myself. I just started creating. But let me show you first. So I went by a friend's house yesterday, and she was working on her card for a camp that she has, and she was making this bridge card. And I thought that is adorable. Look how cute that is with the tulips and the new DSP, which something flowers, I can't remember the name, and just a simple greeting, how easy the card was to make. And then when I got home and I opened my pre-order box from the holiday catalog, and now watch your mail, because if you're one of my customers, you should be getting this in the mail, and I was told by Stampin' Up! That they mailed them out this week. So like I said, watch your mail. Here comes the mini catalog, which is filled with so many wonderful Christmas items and some Halloween stuff too. But this is what I tried to be good this time, so this is the main of my order, was the little Snowman Wonder. And it's, of course, the stamp set and the dies come as a bundle, so you can save 10%. And let me show you what I came up with. So then I used Terry's bridge card idea, and I made this cute little Christmas scene with the snowman and the trees. So let's go ahead and we'll get started with the card. I have all my pieces here, I think. I hope I have all my pieces here. Oh, I got a couple extras. And we'll need some of those, and we'll need this. And so the first thing we're going to do is I have a piece of cardstock here that is, I think it's 8 by 4 1/4. After the video, I'll go on to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and put all the measurements for sure on there, so that if you want to make the card, you can find it there. And I'll put this video so you can refer back to that if you want it to. But I'm going to take my cardstock and I'm going to score it, sorry about the glare, at 1 1/4. Oops, I almost cut it. Wrong blade. Let's get that blade out of the way. And bring in the scoring blade here at 1 1/4 and 2 1/2. Almost forgot my measurements. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, that's 1 1/4 and 2 1/2. And there, now that piece of cardstock is ready. So let's just fold on those score lines. Now when you have your card, let me get my bone folder here and get some real crisp edges. There we go. So when you finish with your card, it looks really small, but trust me, that's what it's supposed to look like. So let's go ahead and stamp all the pieces for the card. Where'd my stamp set go? Here it is. So I'm going to get out, oh look, my stamp set stuck to the case. So I have a couple pieces here of my stamp set that I haven't put the stickers on, and I want to show you real quick how I put the stickers on my stamp set. This might be a helpful tip for you if you're new to Stampin' Up. Your stamp set comes, and usually it has a white piece. Now you can tell I've used my stamp and I've taken, looks like this, the white piece off, and then you have to put the stickers onto your stamp set. So what I do is I take the sticker like this, and I, just to make sure I have the sticker the right way, so I put it on the stamp set, the stamp, and then, oh, my stamps are sticking to me, hold on. I peel off half of the back sticker. I hold on to the sticky part, and I lay that way you can move it around where you want it on the stamp, and then I let go of this side and lay that down. Now this way you don't accidentally stretch this sticker, and it goes exactly where you want it. Then I put my fingers on the sticky part, because I don't want this side to touch this side when you take the back of this sticker off. And then it just lays down, and you get your stickers on there perfect every time. So let me hurry and do one more. I'm going to peel the back. We'll make sure I have it right first. Yep. Peel the back off. Grab the sticky side, lay it onto my stamp, and then just let that lay down. Whoop. So it goes where I want it. And then hold the sticky side, peel this off, and then just lay that down. And your sticker is on there perfect almost every time. Now I'm human and they're not perfect every time. So, but pretty close when I do it that way. I hope that helps when you get your new stamp sets and you need to put the stickers onto your stamp sets. Now I put that down. So let's take the trees here. I'm gonna mount it on my clear block and bring in some garden green ink. We'll need 2 of those. And this is just a scrap of Whisper White. I have no idea how big this is, and I'm hoping it's big enough. Well, that didn't turn out very well. No more talking and stamping at the same time. I moved my stamp and smeared everything. I think I pressed too hard too. There, much better. Look how pretty that tree is when it's stamped. I'm gonna put the other tree up here, just so when you run it through the die cut machine, you have room to cut them out. Okay, and then we'll bring in our snowman. I'm gonna stamp him in Memento black ink because later we'll be coloring him with the blends. And if you're using the blends, you should use the Memento black ink, and that way it doesn't run or smear. So we'll get the snowman here. Well, there we go. And stamp the snowman down. And I'm not applying a lot of pressure, I'm just applying a pressure all along the block. But there, look how cute the snowman looks. When I first saw him, he reminded me of a Krampus snowman. Did you ever watch a Krampus Christmas and they have the scary snowman? But then after a while he grew on me and he's a happy snowman, not a Krampus snowman. If you're not familiar with the Krampus, good for you, because he's scary. So then with the wreath, I'm gonna ink him up in Memento black because we're gonna color him too. And just stamp that down. Okay, and then normally if I wasn't on camera, I would take the Happy Christmas and I would stamp that down too, so then I could cut that out with the die cut machine. I'm gonna stamp him just as a sample, but because then I'll cut this out later. And this is in Night of Navy, because I think Night of Navy and Seaside Mist go together nicely. So I would stamp that there, and especially on the fine print stamps like that, you don't want to apply too much pressure. You don't want to squish the rubber. You just want to set it on the paper and then let the ink sink in. Okay, so I think I have all my stamping done. So now it's time to color. So I'm going to bring in a few blends. These are Stampin' Blends, which are, I think, the best marker ever. And I'm going to start with my snowman. And I'm going to take, this is the new Just Jade, and it's in dark. And I'm going to just color a little bit here of the leaf on his hat. And I'll try to color quickly because there's nothing more boring than watching someone color. And because the way the stamp set is, you don't even have to worry about shading or anything. It's all shaded for you. And when you apply a little bit of ink, it doesn't take much. You just put the ink down and the stamp's already done all the shading. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, this is light real red. So I'm going to just add a little bit of color to the fringe down here. There we go. And then on his hat, I have some light smoky slate. And I'm going to just add some color here to the hat. And then some, let's see what color. This is light pumpkin pie to his nose, which you can all barely see, but I think it adds a little bit. So I'm going to do that too. And then we'll color the wreath. I'm going to start with the light real red and color in the bow. I think it's easier to see the bow, and then that way you don't take a chance and color some of your bow when you're coloring in on the green. So real quick, we'll color in that little bow there. And then we'll bring in the Just Jade, which was it dark? Again. And color in that wreath. Thank goodness on a video like this, especially if you're watching the replay, you can fast forward so you don't have to watch me color the wreath. I guess live you don't get that option, you have to just watch me color. I'm hurrying. And I hope you've noticed, I like to use the, I guess it's called the pinpoint of the markers instead of the brush tip. I think that, well, there's a time for everything, because I think for the little fine lines like that, you need the pinpoint, and then there are other times we need the brush tip. Okay, so then I would take this with my dies, and I want to show you all of them. I was surprised at how great these dies are. So the tree naturally would just lay along the tree and cut the tree out. The same with the snowman, and it'd get a little bit of that snow along the bottom. This one cuts out the Happy Christmas nicely. This one I'll show you in a minute, but this is what I want to show you. So this one here, Stampin' Up! Was nice enough to put this little point on the die, and then look, on the stamp set it has a little point and has that little arrow that says up, so then you know that goes up, and then takes all the guessing. Have you ever sat there with a die and rotated it and rotated it and rotated it, trying to figure out where it goes? Look how cute and how helpful that is with that little point right there to line up your die. So then you take this over to the Big Shot, right, and you'd run it through the Big Shot. But I wanted to show you this die, this one, and this one. So these are a little bit different, and to me these in the catalog are very deceiving. They don't look like they do in real life. So I made a card. It looks like this, and I'm going to try to show you this corner die puts an imprint on your paper that is just beautiful. Can you see that? I think that's a pretty good picture right there. So I did it in the top and the bottom, and then this die cuts out these words of the stamp set really nicely. So I thought, look at, that's 2 cards, bada bing, bada boom. Very simple and cute, but I really wanted to show you what this piece, it's just an embossing piece, these 2 here. So that's all the pieces of the die, and really they're all going to be very useful. Okay, let's pretend like I ran this through my die cut machine, and then we have the pieces that look like this, and I need to stamp on that one because I cut it out earlier, and here's all my little pieces. So let's go ahead and stamp the Night of Navy, because look how, if you don't let Night of Navy dry, it smears really bad. So I'm gonna take that Happy Christmas and stamp it. I cut a couple of them. We'll see if I can stamp it straight without getting my head in the camera. Oh, looks pretty good. And then on this one, well, one of these are 2 pieces. I believe these are 2 7/8 by 4, and that's what's gonna go on the, this is the wrong one, I want this one, on the inside, or really this is gonna go on the back, beg your pardon. So I'm gonna take my words here ink them up in that Night of Navy, not touching it because I don't want to smear them. And I'm going to set that right there. Pretty! So now I have a place to write on the back of my card. Okay, I think we're all done stamping, so let me put all of this away. Oh no, we're not all done stamping. So I'm going to show you, this is another new product Stampin' Up! Has. Now this is the new grid paper that you can buy, and it has all the in colors. I cut mine in half so it sits on the, or fits on the camera. Sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. But this is the new grid paper that's also available to customers too. So if you're interested in the grid paper, it's not in the catalog. You can just see it, I believe, on the online store, which is right here is my online store. Okay, let's bring in this guy because we're not quite done coloring him. So I'm going to take the light Seaside Spray, which matches the cardstock that we're going to finish our card with. And this time I want to take the brush tip because I'm going to just kind of put a little bit of blue, and this is really light. You can hardly see it, but I'm going to put it just along where the stamp has the shading on it. And you can tell I'm not going to be fancy about it. I'm just going to scribble it on there where you see those dark spots. Just adds a little bit of color, makes them look like snow and not like charcoal, I guess. And put like this. There, looks better already. And then I'm going to bring in the dark Seaside Mist, and I'm going to color this part down here. Below that grass line so that it looks finished like that. Okay, let's go ahead and put our card together. Oh, nope, we have a little bit more stamping. I almost forgot. So this is a piece that is 4 by 4, and we need some snowflakes on there. Take this, look, we've used almost every stamp in the stamp set. I like that about this stamp set too, because there's some stamps, you buy the stamp set and you never use those stamps. But I think in this stamp set, I'm going to use every one of those stamps a lot. So you'll notice when I stamp this, most of the time, instead of moving my block, I move my paper so that I can get a different image, and I'm going to try to cover as much paper with the ink as I can. I can't believe how hard it is to see when you're under a camera, because before you could just stick your head in there. But I'm going to try to keep my head out of the camera and cover. Here we go again. It's just like watching me color, huh? Now you got to watch me stamp 100 things. But in the long run, it's going to be worth it. There. There. That looks pretty good. So then once again, I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Now, did I tell you this piece was 4 by 4, and I'm going to cut it down to 1-inch strips. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then these will be the pieces. You put some seal on the back of that. Oh, and I watched a video from Stampin' Up! How to use your seal. If you take your seal and you flick back like this, very light touched with the flick at the end, you don't have any more problems. Well, at least I don't have any more problems with my seal. It is the smoothest stuff ever and so sticky. I'm so happy. But look, you just take a flick back, and it doesn't get caught, it doesn't break off, it just runs like butter. Okay, we're going to take these 4 strips though that I just cut. And lay them here. So it looks like that. Okay, let's decorate this piece. This is the same size as our back. I believe it's 4 inches by 2 7/8. And we're gonna take and stamp the back of this one. And I'm gonna stamp this one just not all the way down because I want it to look like snowflakes at the top and then just regular old snow at the bottom. So I'm gonna leave the bottom portion of this one white. Let's do one more right here. Hopefully I haven't gone too low, but the trees will be in the way too. So that's what we're gonna do, is take one of these trees, and I think we'll lay him flat here off the edge. So you know, I would like everybody to try Stampin' Up's new seal. And so if you go to my online store in the month of July and you place an order of $25 or more, I'll send you a free seal so you can try it yourself. But back to work. Let's put the tree about right here. And you notice I'm gonna make it so just this little part here is hanging off the edge. And then I'll just take my paper snips and trim that off so it looks like that. Then this set of trees, I'm gonna pop up on dimensionals. Let's see if I can fit, oh, let's move this one over here. Yeah, this one should be down here. That's better. Okay, and then lay this one just right there over it, and a little bit hanging off, but that's okay. I'll just take my paper snips and snip that off too. So then there is the middle part of our card, and then I'll just take some seal, the little flick at the end. This reminds me, it's funny that this reminds me of softball, the seal does, because I've watched my daughter play softball for years, and every time she stepped into the batter box, she would take her foot and just do a little flick back. And I don't know how but maybe everything reminds me of softball. You know, I'm a softball coach at a high school, and I've been coaching my daughters for years, so maybe that's, I have softball on the brain. Anyway, let's go on before I make a fool of myself and keep talking. So then with this piece here, this is the bridge, what they call the bridge. It's going to go here, but I want this to be a stronger seal, so I'm going to bring in the Seal It Plus. Now, I learned from Stampin' Up that Seal It Plus is a really thick tape, right? But I don't know if you can see, it has little slashes, so there's like little cut marks in the tape. The Seal It is just one smooth piece, but these are a bunch of little pieces with the line. You'll probably have to buy it to see what I'm talking about, but they have little breaks, I guess you'll call it, in the adhesive that makes Seal It Plus easier to break off. And I think it's because it's so thick, you would have to, but I don't know. So I put a little bit of Seal It on this end and a little bit of Seal It Plus on that end, and I'm going to put my card together like this. I'm going to put this as close to the bottom, well, like I guess 1/8 of an inch, about like there. Can you see that? And make sure this side is closed and put it down. I'm not letting this touch the paper. And then I'm going to open and move it this way and put this one straight as I can this way. Now, if you fold your card this way, it works. If you fold your card this way, it works. And I thought it looked really cute that way. But now we need to decorate this strip. So I'm going to take my snowman here. I'm going to put a little bit of Seal It down here on the bottom of him. And we know this is 1/4 of an inch, so I have 1/4 of an inch I could put the seal. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit more on there so he has lots of reinforcement to stay on my card. And then I'm going to just lay him, making sure at the bottom of the strip here, making sure his hand doesn't come off the side, and I've laid him toward the bottom there. Now on this card, I just put a whole strip of paper across here, so it would be 1 inch by 5 1/4 inches. But this time I'm going to take, hopefully it's dry and I can find it here, this piece here, a little bit of seal on the back. Now I'm going to lay that right there. Yeah, look how good that looks there on my card. Nice. And then just a dimensional, I'm gonna go ahead and put the wreath. Maybe I'll use 2 dimensionals, make sure he doesn't fall off too, on the back of the wreath, and then just lay my wreath right here on the corner. And there you go. Now you have a really, really cute card, right? But then another new product came in my box, and these are the little adhesive back snowflakes. And look how cute these are. I hope you can see them. They're like this, and depending on the color of the cardstock you put them on, they kind of change colors. Did you see that? But they are stinking adorable. So I'm gonna take a pick tool and take a couple of these and then just decorate. I'm gonna get a few more packs of these because dang, these are, I mean, look how cute they are on your card. I need one more. You have to go in packs of odd numbers. So just like that, looky there. Oh, and you know what, I almost forgot. I almost said we forgot, but maybe you guys didn't forget and I did. But we need to put, oh, and we didn't stamp this. Let me hurry and stamp the snowflakes on the top of this one. Just a few little snowflakes to carry over from the front. There we go, with room, a little bit of room to write at the bottom. We'll put a little bit of seal on the back of that. And then this has a 1/4 of an inch border at the bottom and the top, and a little 1/8 inch at the side, and it looks like that. So there you go. And then as you saw with Terry's card, it's still a 5 1/4, or 5 1/2, I'm sorry, by 4 1/4, and it still fits in an envelope. Well, look at all those pieces trying, there we go. And it fits in an envelope, so you could mail it out. So I hope you've enjoyed today's card. I hope you give the bridge card a try. And like I said, if you want the measurements, I'll go now and put all the measurements on my blog, www.becreativewithkathy.com. And if you place a $25 order or more at my online store using the host code, I'll send you a free stamp and seal, so you can try it for yourself too. Last thing, and then I promise I'll let you go. Today's the last day to order paper pumpkin. So if you have any interest in paper pumpkin, I think it's going to be a great kit. They also have an add-on, which is 25 card bases, and I got them yesterday, and hopefully I'll show them to you on Monday right here at 1:30. And that is card bases and envelopes, and the envelopes even have a little bit of gold embossing on them. So like I said, come back Monday at 1:30 and I'll show you those, and I'll have another card ready for you. And always, if you have any questions, be sure and leave me a message. If you try a bridge card, I would love for you to send me a picture. Okay, I've rambled on enough. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.